It is March 8th, 2018. My name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla and also a candidate for state auditor here in New Mexico outside of our federal building in Las Cruces early in the morning at a protest. So the protest is about immigration and customs enforcement, or also known as ICE, part of the Trump administration's efforts to try to crack down on immigration. They've been going through to businesses here in my community for the past few days, asking people for papers, asking businesses to provide information about their workers. And this is a continuing saga here in New Mexico. Last year, they actually went door to door trying to find people who were here illegally and actually deported a few people who had done, other than come here illegally, sometimes decades ago, nothing wrong. We're seeing this across the United States. We saw this, Jeff Sessions go to California yesterday and start criticizing cities and states that have chosen to not ask their police forces to ask for papers, so-called sanctuary city laws. So I think it's really important for all of us to stand up and say, how do we fight this nonsense? And there's a reason. Most of the people, almost all the people that are here illegally have come here for the reasons any of us would. They want to come create a better life. They wanted to come here and find jobs and live without hunger and live without fear of gang violence and a whole bunch of other reasons. And they've had children and families, and they have great jobs. One of the folks that has been living in a Catholic church here for almost a year, was here for 20 years from Colombia, was a volunteer for the Red Cross, actually went out to help with Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy efforts. These folks are part of our communities. They make us better, and to round them up and deport them is frankly un-American. It's not something that reflects on the American dream, and I don't believe it's what we should call patriotic. So it's important for all of us to fight this. So I come out to these, I have my little sign. I did some interviews, but I think it's also important as public officials to say, what do we do? So what have I done? As a state representative, I've introduced bills to try to stop Trump from building a stupid wall on the state trust land as part of the border. I have introduced bills to stop them from using the National Guard as part of deportation and immigration crackdown strategies. Trump actually proposed that last year. And as state auditor, if I'm elected, what are the things that I can do? Well, the auditor's job is to say, how are we using our taxpayer resources efficiently and effectively? And if some cities or other groups start using their police forces to ask for papers and be part of Trump's immigration crackdown, what I can do is really audit their books and say, how many resources, how much money, how many man hours, women hours are you spending on making our communities less safe? Because remember, if I am living next to folks that are here undocumented and my house gets broken into and someone tries to assault me, they are much less likely to call the police. They're much less likely to participate as witnesses because they're worried about getting deported. And I do live in a neighborhood where folks at least have been, and I'm pretty sure some are now, here in undocumented status. So it's all of our jobs. We're all in this together to find ways of opposing this, of fighting it, and saying this is not who we think Americans are or what our nation should be. So thanks everybody for watching this. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns on these or any other issues, I'd love to hear from you and hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks.